Hello there, you're listening to Ram Speaks, and today we are going to talk about whether we can kill the virus. In the last podcast episode, I made a statement about how a living organism works, specifically its propagation. I equated that with the behaviour of a virus. Later I realized that it could lead to some confusion with some thinking that a virus is a living organism. A virus is not a living organism per se. Because a virus does show similarities with living organisms, such as possibly contributing to the creation of eukaryotes, but even containing genetic information. But that would become a long technical discussion, which I do not want to get into at this point because, I do not have the technical knowledge about the nuances of the concept. The last biology class I attended was 15 years ago, and biology was not something I really connected with. But what I can do is speak in simple terms, like when asked about how an airplane flies, I could tell you the air pressure under the plane becomes higher than that over the plane, which lifts the plane, rather than getting into the fluid mechanics. In those terms, a virus is a chemical complex, the border between chemicals and a single-celled living organism. The debate about whether viruses are living or non-living is still on, but we all agree that they do not show the characteristics of a living being, such as metabolism or reproduction. Wait, what? You heard it right. A virus cannot reproduce by itself. Viruses cannot metabolize either. So metabolism is basically the process of performing chemical reactions in the body and generating energy. I think of viruses as those beings that are non-living when not attached to a host, and living beings when they get a host, much like a seed, except that most seeds grow in a non-living habitat, such as soil. So let me go one step further and say that this is true as of the 29th of March of 2020. Experts consider viruses as living a borrowed life. They cannot live on their own. They attach themselves to host cells, break the outer shell that is made up of complex proteins or lipids, which is essentially fat, which is called a membrane, or both, and they release their RNA or DNA into the host cell or onto the host cell. This way they take control of the cell and use the host cell's reproductive machinery to multiply. Except, in this case, the cells are rogue cells which do not work as designed for their purpose. This degenerates the organs that these cells make up, and the organs fail. Of course, that's an oversimplified statement, but still. Our body protects us using its immunity. The immune system is capable of detecting the presence of such infections and acting accordingly. But the viruses are smarter sometimes. They go on doing what they do because they have anti-detection systems in place within themselves. The SARS-CoV-2, which is this strain of coronavirus, or the novel coronavirus, is one such case. It goes undetected for up to 2 weeks, which is what generally defines its incubation period. Now, when our immunity detects the virus, it tries to interfere with the virus's attachment to the cell. Our immunity also has to stop the infected cells from multiplying. So it increases the body temperature, or generates phlegm, or floats chemicals, all in an attempt to defeat the virus's methods to take control of our cells. Once successful, the immune system stores this information for future use, again, figuratively speaking. The next time there is such an attack, the body detects it sooner and prevents attachment, and also disintegrates the virus, breaks the complex structure, basically. So the virus is no more a virus, but just a cocktail of chemicals. So killing a virus is not technically correct because a virus is not alive in the first place. But we find it easier to express it this way. Of course, defining what a life is for another nuanced discussion. Now, to some advice or opinion or whatever you would like to call it. First thing, drink a lot of water. The summer is beginning and our bodies are going to need more water than, say, 3 months ago. Also, our immunity needs enough water to function. But if you have underlying health issues, check with your doctor on how much water you can drink. The upper limit is important in this case as well. The second is, most of us who are working from home do not have to really groom ourselves the way we would otherwise. I've not had my haircut for some time now. Let's collect that money and either support our local barber or donate it to a larger fund like the PM's Relief Fund, irrespective of what the amount is. Don't think about whether it is 50 rupees, whether it is 100, 500, whatever it is. Little drops make an ocean. I know it's a cliche, but it's true. Because if every Indian could donate 1 rupee towards a certain fund, the fund would have 1.3 billion rupees. Even 1 rupee matters. So don't think about it. Just save all the money that you would otherwise spend in your grooming and support somebody. Help somebody out, right? If you do not want to give the money as money to the barber, you could even buy him or her a bag of rice. I'm sure they would appreciate it. Yeah? So thank you for listening, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.